On March 8, 2006, the Versailles room of the St. Regis Hotel hosted a private poker tournament. Physicists, computer scientists, and mathematicians gathered around the tables, the new, secretive tycoons of Wall Street. These men were known as Quants. Armed with PhDs and massive computing power, they replaced human intuition with pure, unyielding mathematics. Their objective was a concept called alpha, a quantifiable, universal truth within the financial markets. They believed this secret allowed them to consistently beat the market and neutralize its volatility. These perfectly engineered equations did not eliminate market risk. When deployed at scale, the algorithms triggered the most brutal and sudden financial meltdowns in history. How did these mathematicians construct a supposedly flawless machine that ended up tearing its own ecosystem apart? The logic that eventually conquered Wall Street began in the spring of 1961, inside a sparsely lit casino in Reno, Nevada. An MIT physics professor named Ed Thorpe sat at a blackjack table to test a theory. Gambling is a matter of statistical probability, not luck. Thorpe relied on the law of large numbers. By strictly counting the ratio of 10 value cards left in the deck and placing enough bets over time, his mathematical edge guaranteed he would eventually drain chips from the dealer. Thorpe took this exact casino logic and applied it to Wall Street. He used his equations to accurately price abstract financial products like stock warrants, pulling consistent profits out of the market. Thorpe's financial models rested on the random walk, or Brownian motion. This theory asserts that the direction of stock prices is a coin flip, moving in randomized patterns identical to the way microscopic particles jiggle in a liquid. For the early quants, the global stock market functioned like a massive casino where they finally knew the exact odds. This is a normal distribution, or a bell curve. It is the mathematical assumption behind the quants' formulas. The thick cluster of data points in the middle represents the small, routine price movements that happen on a typical trading day. The thin edges tapering off on either side represent massive, extreme market jumps or crashes. Because the curve is so thin here, the math assumes these extreme events are so rare they are mathematically near impossible. In 1973, Fisher-Black and Myron-Scholes released an equation that calculated the exact value of stock options. The Black-Scholes model became the standard for pricing risk across Wall Street. This model birthed portfolio insurance. This computer-automated system was programmed to instantly buy and sell massive amounts of stock based on the assumption that the bell curve was a flawless reflection of reality. Wall Street had outsourced its survival to an automated equation, and that equation assumed human panic simply did not exist. On October 19, 1987, Black Monday, the stock market plummeted 23% in a single day. As humans panicked and sold, the portfolio insurance algorithms blindly followed their programming. Seeing prices drop, the computers mechanically fired off massive waves of automated sell orders, which drove prices lower and triggered more selling in a catastrophic loop. The quants models didn't just miscalculate, they failed because something deemed mathematically impossible actually happened. Mathematician Benoit Mandelbrot had discovered the flaw in these models decades earlier. Mandelbrot proposed a theory of fat tails. He proved that markets do not taper off neatly. Because humans act with an irrational herd mentality, extreme, wild leaps in price happen frequently. The models were broken not because the math was wrong, but because they deliberately excluded the chaos of human nature. After Black Monday, the financial engineers did not abandon their broken models. Instead, they blamed the real world for not fitting their math. They dismissed the 1987 crash as a 27 standard deviation event, a statistical anomaly so rare it shouldn't happen in the lifespan of the universe, yet it happened in a single afternoon. Throughout the 1990s and 2000s, quants kept aggressively scaling these exact same flawed bell curve models across the global economy. This blind faith in mathematical perfection led directly to the devastating 2007 global financial crisis. Isaac Newton once observed a reality that the modern quants forgot. I can calculate the motion of heavenly bodies.